Have you ever looked at the world of decentralized finance and just felt lost? You're staring at some crazy complex blueprint you can't make heads or tails of. Well, today, we're going to change all that. We are going to build the PulseChain DeFi ecosystem together, from the ground up, and imagine it as one giant digital skyscraper. Let's get into it.
So what really holds this whole digital world of finance together? It's a huge question, right? But the answer? It's actually pretty simple. It's all about the architecture. Just like a real skyscraper, DeFi has a foundation, it has elevators, and it has different floors for different things. And that analogy, well, that's the key that unlocks this whole thing.
Okay, so just like any good construction project, we have to start at the very bottom. We're going to build our understanding of what's called the DeFi stack layer by layer, right from the ground up. And this breaks down the entire structure perfectly. First, at the very bottom, you've got your foundation. These are the base chains, like PulseChain, and they provide all the security for the entire building. Then, you need a way to get around, right? The bridges act as the elevators, moving value between different ecosystems. The third layer, this is the super important stuff, the DeFi protocols. Think of this as the building's financial plumbing. And finally, on top of all that, you have the assets. These are like the apartments and the storefronts where all the action actually happens.
And here's where it all just clicks into place. PulseChain itself, that's the skyscraper, it's the venue. PulseX, the big decentralized exchange on the chain, that's the essential plumbing that lets everything flow smoothly. And then you have assets like PulseZEN or PZEN. Those are the products inside the building that people actually want to own and use. Now, every single economy needs a stable currency, and our digital skyscraper is absolutely no different. This brings us to stablecoins. Think of them as the universal cash that keeps the whole system running.
So, what on earth is a stablecoin? It's really simple. It's just a crypto token that's designed to hold its value. How? It's usually pegged one-to-one with a real-world currency, like the good old US dollar. So you can just think of it as a digital dollar that you can zip around the DeFi world in an instant.
And these stablecoins, they aren't just sitting there. They have 4 critical jobs in this whole ecosystem. First, they're the unit of account, which just means we price everything in dollars, makes it easy to understand. Second, they're your risk-off asset, your safe place to run when the market gets crazy. Third, they're the base pair for trading, giving us a stable reference for value. And finally, looking ahead, they're going to be the collateral for decentralized loans. I love this quote from the source material. It just nails it. Stablecoins are basically the casino chips of DeFi. It doesn't matter what game you're playing, whether it's PLS, PZEN, or something totally new, everybody understands the value of that dollar-pegged chip. It's the universal language.
But what if you want your assets to do more than just sit there like cash in your wallet? This is where we bring in the next level, PulseZEN. It's designed not just to hold value, but to be a productive asset that can actually work for you over time.
This side-by-side comparison makes the difference crystal clear. On one hand, you have stablecoins. That's your zero volatility cash. It's a safe place to park your value. PulseZEN, on the other hand, is a yielding savings asset. Its whole purpose is to be a productive place where you can grow your value for the long haul. And that's its perfect little niche in this whole ecosystem. It's not as static and, boring as a stablecoin, but it's not designed for that crazy speculative risk either. It lives right in that smart middle ground, what the source calls productive savings. It's for the strategic, long-term thinker.
Okay, we've seen the architecture, we've walked through the lobby. Now, how do you actually get the keys to your own apartment in this thing? Let's turn all this theory into a practical, step-by-step plan to get you started.
Here's your path. Step 1 is the on-ramp. You got to get into the building. You do that by bridging stablecoins like USDC over to PulseChain. Step 2 is your first move inside. You swap some of those stables for your core positions like PZEN and, of course, some PLS. That's the gas you need to pay for any transaction. And then step 3, and this is for the more advanced folks, is engaging with the yield layer, maybe by providing liquidity to a trading pool to earn some fees.
So what might a balanced portfolio look like once you're settled in your new digital apartment? Well, here's just one idea. You could have about 40% in stablecoins for safety and quick cash. Then, a core 40% in PulseZEN, acting as your main savings engine. And that leaves the last 20% for more speculative plays, like holding PLS or other tokens.
And of course, this portfolio is alive. It's dynamic. The strategy's pretty intuitive. When the markets feel a little scary, you can rotate more into the safety of PZEN and your stablecoins. When you're feeling greedy, when you see an opportunity, you can draw from those stablecoin reserves to buy the dips on other assets. All the while, your core PZEN position is the anchor.
And that really is the main takeaway here. From this whole architectural point of view, PulseChain is designed to be your default long-term holding. It's that foundational asset that sits right there next to your stablecoins. It's the thing you rebalance around, not the thing you just sell off.
So there you have it. We've walked through the entire skyscraper, from the foundation all the way up to the penthouse. You now have the blueprint for the PulseChain DeFi ecosystem. So the only real question left is, how are you going to build your portfolio?